Hey everyone, so this is the next one. This isn't going to take very long actually to do this. Um, I started because I've been using webinars as part of my marketing and generating sales leads. I started to create a presentation. I was going to do an actual full-blown presentation on how to use webinars as part of your marketing. So, or as I like to call it, using webinar, how to use webinars webinar. Um, this one's a very short presentation. It's a work in progress. As I said, I'm writing a sales book right now. This is going to be part of the sales book, but a much broader way to use things or how to use webinars. And ultimately, this is going to end up being an ebook and a course as well for people. So let's get started on this. So there's a few things you need to know. There's about 7 steps here that are really straightforward. And once again, I'm recording this, so I'll make sure that you guys can have a copy of this if you want to have a copy of this. You can reach out to me, or I can send it out to my email list. The first thing you need to look at is, what is the topic that I'm going to present to people? And make sure you have a topic that's going to entice. So like the one that I have is how to stop cold calling. There's a pain. There is a specific pain with cold calling that people have that drives them crazy, and they want to find any other way to get rid of that pain. If you can find something that shows people how to get rid of a pain, then that's the topic that you can use, right? When you're actually doing a webinar, as you saw in my last one that you just watched, 90% educational, 10% selling. In fact, you know what? I sold very little in the last webinar, maybe 1 to 2 or 3%. But literally try to keep the educational piece high so that people are learning from you. But the other thing that I would say is, deliver a presentation that helps people solve a problem, but show these people how you do it better than they can do it, right? So, get that pain point, really scratch at it and pick at it and exacerbate the pain, and then show how you can do it better. And then what you do is put an offer on the table that'll deliver or help us solve that problem. So, I mean, that's literally how you start with something for a webinar. Now, what you need to do, though, is if you are creating this and you're sending or you want to entice people in, you have to have a sign up form. So I talked about it in the last webinar. So if you have, you need an email marketing system so you can capture names, and you're going to need some form of a landing page to be able to entice or bring people into this thing. So make sure that you're writing a great, compelling overview on the process or what you're going to convey in the webinar that you have. Hook up, create a landing page, and you can do that with lead pages or unbounced very quickly. Lead pages, I can create one, and I'll show you in a sec here. The one that I did created, like, literally took me about 5 minutes to pull together. And hook in your email marketing software into your landing page so that you're collecting names and emails. Now, the nice thing about this too, though, is that when you're doing this, creating the compelling overview with what people are going to learn, having a landing page, having your email marketing system in there, capturing names and emails, it gives you a way to also continually market to these people after the fact with an email marketing system. And so there's your sign up. That's the sign up process that goes into this. Now, there's the page that I use to generate people to contact me for or sign up for my How to Stop Cold Calling. And in this case, you can't see, it's just a screenshot, but if you go down below, I've got 7 or 8 different bullet points with topics that are going to be covered in that presentation. The interesting thing, this is through Lead Pages, and there's a couple of things that you can take a look at here. Like on the right-hand side, webinar is going to start 3 days, 13 hours, 20 minutes, and 56 seconds, right? That just basically says, hey, sign up. This is limited time offer, blah, 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 so on and so forth, pushing people through its psychology and stuff like that. The other thing too is, now click here to claim your spot. Boom, they click there, they get on the list. And literally this page, seriously, it took me like 5 minutes to pull together. It is so simple to create these things with Lead Pages. Now, the webinar software. So if you're going to do a webinar, you're going to need to leverage webinar software. And what I use Join Me, and I've also used Google+, but I'll get into that in a second here, and WebEx. Join Me, love Join Me. Reason being is you get a free account, and I believe it gives you up to 10 people that can join your webinars. I don't know how much scaled back it is, whether you can record them or not. But I do know that it's free to start and it's pretty simple to use. Then if you get a pro level, what you can get is 249 people and yourself can attend a webinar. So, and the pro level, I think it cost me, it was about $120 a year, so 10 bucks a month or something like that to do these webinars. And I do like 4 or 5 or 6 of these a month. Um, and well worth it. I love Join Me, and you can record these after the fact if you have a pro level. One of the other things you can use is Google plus Hangouts. I put Google plus. I should have put Hangouts on there as well. The neat thing about Google Hangouts is that you can broadcast out to the world like I'm doing right now with your face basically on the video and educating people. I use a Mac, and unfortunately, there's no way for me to put a presentation up on it and use that, or no way that I've found yet to be able to put a presentation out. So if you're broadcasting and you're sending stuff out, um, take a look into it, different ways that you can use it. And the interesting thing about Hangouts, though, is that if you want, you can invite up to 9 other people in, so you can have a chat going back and forth or having a roundtable going on. And I've done that with some of the best-selling authors in the world. I did that with about 8 of them, 7 or 8 of them, about a year and a half ago. And the other thing, too, is unlimited viewers. And then the other thing that's nice about it is it actually captures your recording so that you can leverage it and use it later on in different marketing. Last but not least is I look at like WebEx. And I don't like WebEx. The reason being it's tougher to use, it's cumbersome, it's not simple. Anyways, it's also costly. So if you want to use it, go nuts, knock yourself out. I don't like it. Join Me does everything that you need to do. Google Plus, another fantastic way to use things. Now, last webinar I was talking about how to promote things. Once you've created that landing page, you got your email marketing system powered, you got a topic, you got everything that you want to do. Different ways that you can promote your webinar. Once again, using Twitter, send things out via Twitter. Use Hootsuite. You use a service like Social Oomph that'll schedule these out on a recurring basis. Same thing. You can put up pages on Facebook. You can put stuff into your stream on Facebook, Google Plus. If you have an email list existing already, send it out to people and tell them to come into to your webinar and that you're going to educate and everything like that. You could create ads online, offline. You put it in your blog posts. Like, for example, any of the blog posts, or most of the blog posts I have that have gone up over the last couple of months on my website, Sales Tip a Day, at the very end, it's how to sign up for my Stop Cold Calling webinar. And so have something like that at the bottom of your blog post with a strong call to action. And invitations, radio, TV, everyone can read this sort of stuff, right? You can figure out how to do this stuff. If you got budget, do radio. If you got budget, TV, you can do that sort of stuff. Try to see if you can get some press, put it on a press release. I mean, it's limitless if you put your mind to it and figure out how you can actually do this stuff. Put on the back of your business card. You have a QR code, get people to click and register and go in there. Now, one of the cool things about doing a webinar or doing webinars is the fact that you can record them. So you guys may have seen, if you joined from the beginning, I clicked a record button on my Join Me, which now it's recorded this webinar and the last webinar I just did together. And the neat thing about this is you can record it for replay later on or send it out to your list after the fact, right? The other thing too is you can take it and you can download it and chop it up into little chunks and use it for blog posts. You can rip the audio out and use it as an ebook. You can take the video and the audio and use it in on different things on your website. You can take this stuff, create it into an ebook, get someone on Elance to transcribe it for you and use it as an ebook. You can put it into a book like I'm doing with this stuff. I love putting these recordings into my blog posts because it creates content for me to drive people back to more webinars that I'm doing. The other thing too is you can use the audio and put it into podcasts. I use a service called Podbean that allows me to put the audio up, and also I can put the video and the audio up. So I put everything up on it and push it out, and it goes to iTunes, so people watch my stuff through iTunes as well. Last but not least, I mean, if you have a great recording, one of the things you can do is go with like lead pages or rundowns. Create a landing page, put a strong call to action in there, and you either put the whole video up if you want, or you put a snippet of it up, and underneath you can put something like, want to watch the whole video, click here and I'll send you the link, right? So now you're getting someone's name and email, or an email at the minimum. And that way you can continually market to them. And so there you go. That's just some of the things that you do, recording. So that's the strong point of that. And last but not least here is have a follow-up. So you've captured this person's name and email, they brought them into a webinar, and then you've got a recording. You know what? There is, first things first, video, have the replay of the webinar that people can watch. Put an offer out. Do whatever you can do. Just think of it, continually marketing to these people because they showed up. And you guys are going to see after this video, if you're on any of my lists, I'm going to send the links out for these two webinars, probably with a strong call to offer as well, if anyone needs help with any of this stuff. And that's the short of my last webinar. It really wasn't very long. As I say, it's the first time I've ever done that one, and it was a pleasure sharing that with you guys.